o'clock, so I think we're going to begin our service with a song. And I'm going to ask, I'm Megan Rancier, by the way, and at this point, I'm going to ask Demetrius to lead us in our opening song.
Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Demetrius. So good morning again, everyone. I'm Megan Rancier, and I'll be presenting service today along with Demetrius Ingram, James Bland, Ardian Bland, and the Maccabee family, including Hannah, Sam, Eli, and Aubrey. Lisa Merrill Price and Robin Perry are providing technical assistance. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. We're glad that we can keep in touch and support our community, even if we can't be together in person. First, a few important announcements. Please be aware that we are recording this service and it will be posted on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Also, we are turning off all microphones and cameras for most of the service to minimize distractions and to eliminate feedback from open mics. You will not be able to turn these back on yourself. During announcements and joys and concerns, you can request to have your microphone and camera turned back on to share by clicking the raise hand button at the bottom of the participants window. If you are on a computer, we recommend that you go ahead and show the participants window now by clicking on participants near the bottom of the screen. We recommend that you also click on chat near the bottom of the screen so that you can view and send messages to others during the service. If you're on a phone or a tablet, you should only click on these windows when you need them. Microphones and cameras will be restored at the end of the service for the MBUUC coffee hour. If you'd like an order of service, please look in the comments in the chat box or find the email that was sent out this morning from MBUUC. Now that we've covered those important announcements, we will continue with the service. We greet you today as you join us in a wider search for truth and purpose. In this quest, may we encounter one another with open hearts and minds. May we inspire each other to consider new questions and seek deeper meaning. And may we cultivate wisdom and compassion. Let all who enter this place see a welcome face, hear a kind word, and find comfort in this community. May all that we do and say here today help us to be a force for positive change in the world. Please take a moment to think about all your friends at MBUUC. Greet them with a comment in the chat box, and remember that you can still reach out to them through email, social media, phone calls, or video chat. Physical distancing does not need to mean emotional distancing. Let us support one another. Visitors, As we are a diverse group with varying interests and beliefs, our services are varied in format, tone, and topic. We encourage you to view several services to gain a good understanding of our congregation. If you'd like to receive our weekly email newsletter, please email us at news, that's N-E-W-S, at mvuuc.org. MVUUC remains committed to supporting our members and friends during this difficult time of social distancing. For that reason, we are coordinating assistance with groceries, phone calls, and other needs. If this sounds like something that would be helpful to you, please send an email to SAC, that's S as in Sam, A as in Apple, C as in cat, at mvuuc.org with your name and what kind of assistance you would like to request. Now is the time for announcements. Announcements can be sent ahead of time to services@mvuuc.org to be read during the service. If you have an important announcement now, you can raise your hand by clicking the raise hand button at the bottom of the participant box in Zoom. Then we will announce your name and turn on your microphone and camera so that you can make your announcement yourself. Lisa, are there any announcements today?
Hi there. Yes, there's one announcement I have from Noelle McClooney, our president. She reminds us that on Sunday, June 28th, we will be having our service at the, well, we won't be doing the service. It will be the UUA General Assembly service instead of having ours here at MVUUC. And that will be at 10 a.m., not 11 a.m. It'll be at 10 a.m. And religious education will be at 11 that day on June 28th. There will be details in the news, so keep an eye out for that. And also there will be no service on July 5th and September 6th, and those will of course be announced ahead of time as well in the news.
And then I had two announcements. These also appeared in the newsletter, but I'll just make them now. The first announcement is about the MVUUC garden, which is looking beautiful right now. And one idea that we had was we wanted to invite people to kind of participate in beautifying the garden. And so what we're going to do is leave boxes of little strips of cloth. So there will be two of these boxes, and inside each box will be strips of cloth and a marker. So we want to invite everybody to take one of these strips of cloth, just come to the church, visit the garden, see what we're doing, take one of these cloth strips and write a message or an affirmation or just a wish for something, and then you can tie that strip of cloth with your wish on the fence of the garden somewhere. So this will really help to make the garden more beautiful and have everyone participate. So we look forward to seeing your wishes. The second announcement is from the Social Action Committee. There's been some interest expressed in creating an anti-racism book club at MVUUC. And so if you're interested, if this sounds like something you'd like to get involved with, just send an email to the Social Action Committee, that's SAC@mvuuc.org. So if there's enough interest, hopefully we can get that started. All right, so if there aren't any additional announcements, I think we'll move on to the chalice lighting now. So the chalice will be lit today by Demetrius Ingram. Please join me in reading the words for the chalice lighting that appear as a comment in the chat box or in the order of service, which is also posted as a comment in the Zoom chat box. So here we go. We light this chalice today to celebrate being together in this loving community. The flame brightens our path as we strive for justice, truth, love, wisdom, and hope in our lives and in the world around us. Our opening words today are entitled The Wellspring of Moral Action by Sharon D. Welch. The wellspring of decency is loving this life in which people die, people suffer, there are limits, and we make mistakes. The wellspring then of moral action is not utopia, not a counterfactual vision, not a declaration that the world could and should be otherwise. Rather, it is a deep affirmation of the joy, richness, and blessing that the world is. The ground of challenging exploitation, injustice, and oppression is not a vision of how the world could be or will be in a future reign of God or after the revolution. The ground of challenging injustice is gratitude, the heartfelt desire to honor the wonder of that which is, to cherish, to celebrate, to delight in the many gifts and joys of life. And now we have a very special musical performance. We are going to hear Ardian and James Bland performing the song, My Favorite Things. So take it away, James and Ardian. Welcome.
Can you take 2 steps this way?
What are they seriously going to do?
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
stand out.
You ready?
Range.
Oh, ready?
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woollen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells and snitch rolls with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with bow satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
Nice job, buddy. There we go.
That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you guys so much for gifting us with that wonderful performance today. Before I start the sermon today, I just want to thank everyone that's doing such an incredible job from at home or here putting these services together. I definitely wish I could be more involved in doing that, but the services would not be what they are today without the Sunday Services Committee. They won't run as smoothly as they have been going. So everyone at home should give a round of applause to them. I'm gonna give them one right now. So today, I decided that we should talk about something lighter and brighter. And then it didn't turn into that exactly. So I want to preface this sermon by, I really hope that the message today can help anyone out there, maybe aid someone in finding something new. But alas, I'll begin. This has been a difficult sermon to write for many reasons. I could go on and on about the time that you have to carve out to brainstorm different topics, or about the writing process itself, which is usually a drag if you don't enjoy sitting at a desk and typing. Or most notably, how difficult it is to think of reasons life is amazing when sometimes it truly feels anything but. It is common knowledge that our world is broken right now, very broken. There are some of us who carry on just fine, living in our own worlds, and we take solace there. And there are others who wake up in the morning and feel some of the infinite amount of less thans that circle our minds, perched like a bird on our ears, reminding us of something we feel we cannot escape. Sometimes it gets dark. Now, today isn't about the doom and gloom that life offers up to us more frequently than what we would like at times. No. Today, we discover what is the cracks of light in the doom and gloom. What do we throw our focus and hearts to when times are difficult, when it seems like life is overwhelming? For some of you, it may be odd for you hearing me speak about anything but rainbows, warm hugs, sincere smiles, and the wonderful aspects of friendship. But alas, I am human, and I have the bad days. But I never let that control me. I never let myself live there for too long, because I remind myself of all the amazing aspects of life. True story. When I was a kid, I would get sad sometimes when my mom would work late, or when life would hit her just a little too hard, and my little empathetic heart felt her distress. Usually when that would happen, my mom would take me over to my great Aunt Gussie's house, a place where I could kick back, relax, and be a kid. She would oftentimes have ice cream ready for me, or my favorite, her mac and cheese. It was so good. We would watch Murder, She Wrote, Golden Girls, and Walker, Texas Ranger. That is the formula for any little gay, truly. And then when it was time for sleep, she would tuck me into bed, kiss me on my forehead, and say, "Stay sweet, little boy." And just like that, life didn't seem so bad. Now, sure, that was about 20 years ago, but the sentiment is still there. Our hearts are meant to feel so much, so many different things, but it is our heads that determine what we want to do with the information from our heart. From my childish perspective, I could have been shut off. I could have let the sadness take me over, but I suppose I had an open heart and mind and was open to what the world was offering me. I searched that crack of light, and I found amazement in that. One thing is certain, and that is figuring out how your life is amazing, and I mean truly amazing to you. It's a lot easier said than done. If you all could recall back to my talk on gratitude a couple months back, it is not just a surface level stuff that we call to for comfort and examination. However, it is what lies deeper within. The results of true introspection is where our self-revelations will be found. And I think that is what we have to keep in mind in this new way of living we are all being subjected to. We are human. We are by design social creatures, not meant to be caged or cut off, no matter what the introverts say. Bob Price, I'm looking at you. So today's social climate may take its toll on some of us sooner or later. When that begins to happen, I want my words today to act as a gentle reminder that you do not have to look too far to find joy, and your life has not ceased to be any less amazing. So, I want everyone to take a deep breath for a moment and really breathe. Clear your minds for just a minute or so and focus on how your life is amazing. Don't confuse this with things you are grateful for, but truly what is amazing in your life. Do you have a spouse or significant other or friend that is in tune with your needs? And time spent with them is like time spent with an extension of yourself? How about that walk on the nature trail? The tall grass that blew so freely and bent ever so slightly, revealing the flexibility of its shape. We must not forget the book that you are reading, the old book with the worn spine. You get so excited when you open it up and read it for a while. Maybe your life is simply so amazing because you wake up every day and tell yourself, today will be amazing. And your affirmation manifests itself in a multitude of ways that you would not expect. So, what is truly amazing in your life? And can you find it? I know this sermon may not be the one you were expecting today. I know the title may have insinuated another path to trod. But what I hope for us all is that today we can find another way, add another tool to our box on how to navigate these fast and crazy lives, how to navigate through doom and gloom and to find the cracks of light. Search yourselves. Search your surroundings. It is there. Amazement is there. Just the thought of that, to me, that is so sweet. That is so amazing. Now, I urge you all, go and have an adventure. Thanks. Now, in the spirit of this reflection, we have a very special event as part of today's service. Aubrey Maccabee, one of the youngest members of our congregation, turns 1 year old in just a couple of days. And in honor of this milestone, today her family is observing a very important tradition called Dolajanki, or Dole. First, Hannah Maccabee will give an explanation of the Dole ceremony, and then she will lead us in observing this joyous and meaningful occasion together.
Good morning, friends and family. Welcome to Aubrey's Doljanchi, the celebration of her first birthday. The first birthday is a very important occasion to people of Korean heritage, and ordinarily we would be doing this with a large gathering, but because of UA guidelines and social distancing, we are inviting everyone to participate via Zoom. So thank you all for being here today. The Korean Dole is one of the milestone birthdays, next slide, in Korean culture. The Pegil, or 100 days, next slide, is celebrated after the baby's 100th day after birth. The first 100 days were considered especially vulnerable in a person's life, and typically the baby didn't even go outside or meet with visitors until that 100 days was over, and they would throw a big party to celebrate the baby making it through that period. The Dole, similarly, is a celebration of the first birthday, and is the first year is also considered especially vulnerable, and it involves way more family and friends, and we are encouraged as family and friends to imagine and aspire the future life of the baby. May they be generous, may they be healthy, may they live long and prosper. And so the 60th birthday is called the Hangap, and it is from a time when many people didn't live to be 60 So 60 is considered someone who is of advanced age, and people would sit back and reflect on the person's life and celebrate them for achieving advanced age. But because many people are living past 60 and beyond, the Gohi is now celebrated on the 70th birthday because people just wanted another milestone birthday to be able to celebrate, and that is now the new old age. Next slide. So the Korean Dole has roots in shamanism, and shamanism is a polytheistic belief in gods and goddesses and animals and spirits and ancestors, and the ancestor spirits influencing our lives. So although many people don't believe in these spirits anymore, they still have prominence in the Dole rites and rituals. So the Dole rite can begin when prayers are offered to the Sanshin to your left, the mountain god, and the Samshin Harmony to your right, who is the goddess of luck and fortune. Next slide. The Samshin Harmony is sometimes portrayed as a triplicate goddess of 3 women or just 1 woman, and she is the goddess of anything from childbirth to pregnancy to fertility and babies and small children. So she is thought to protect the child up until their 7th birthday. And offers and prayers are made to her to keep the child safe at different points in time, including immediately after birth, the 3rd day after birth, the 7th day after birth, and on each birthday. Next slide. In traditional Dole ceremonies, some elements are typically commonplace. The baby will wear a colorful hanbok like the one I'm wearing. They often receive gold jewelry as gifts, 24 carats. Plates of fruit and food are set out to sort of display the family's abundance. We have all this food that we can share with you, and a rainbow cake made of layers. The Dolgoim, which we will show you in a bit, depicts a child's lunar New Year's or lunar astrological symbol. In Aubrey's case, that is a pig. Next slide. The main event of the Doljanchi is called the Doljabi, and what that is the baby will pick an item from an array, and the item will represent their future. So this is more of a fun fortune-telling activity. They are not bound to that, bound to the item they pick forever, but it's more of a fun activity, and people can guess which item they'll pick and receive a little prize in a typical gathering. So the items we can have include rice, noodles, money, pencil, stethoscope, gavel, ball, and book. Some items are no longer typical, like nobody really puts a bow and arrow on the table anymore, and some people will put a robot or a computer to symbolize engineering, and the items themselves can change in meaning over time. So, for example, the rice no longer means having many children. These days it means more like material prosperity. Next slide. Right. So many Korean families today, they still want to celebrate the traditional Doljanchi, but they want to add the modern twist. So many families will add their tastes, and it can be very opulent and grand, and it starts to look more like a wedding reception for a baby than a traditional birthday party. And as cultural expectations shift, the Dole has become a way for Korean families to signify their taste and their good fortune to their guests. Next slide. All right, we want to thank you so much for joining us today for Aubrey's Doljachi and Doljabi. This is a picture from Eli's Doljabi where he picked a pencil. And we appreciate everyone who could be here via Zoom today, and we will allow Aubrey to select her item once I turn the camera. I think that's what that's. Okay, so Aubrey has selected the stethoscope and the ball, and it looks like also a paintbrush, so that means she'll be a medical athlete in the future. So thank you all for joining us, and we will have smash cake outside.
Awesome. Congratulations and happy birthday again to Aubrey, and congratulations to her whole family. And I just want to I've unmuted myself, but just happy birthday again to Aubrey. Congratulations to the Maccabee family. And really, like, what we've just seen is such a great opportunity to appreciate and witness something that is truly so sweet and so amazing. So I'm going to do a short UU Principles connection now. And I'd like to start by restating a short quote from today's opening words. And the quote is, "The ground of challenging injustice is gratitude, the heartfelt desire to honor the wonder of that which is, to cherish, to celebrate, to delight in the many gifts and joys of life." End quote. That's a very profound statement, that our deepest drive to make the world a better place must come from our experience and our appreciation of the everyday wonders of life that are, as Demetrius said, so sweet and so amazing. Maybe it's your family and friends. Maybe it's your job, your community, the natural environment around you. Whatever it is that inspires that deep, spiritual, all-encompassing love in your life, that is the foundation on which you can build your efforts to challenge injustice and live out our sixth principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. I often like to invoke UU hymns in these moments. So in closing, I'll just read the first verse from hymn number 34. "Though I may speak with bravest fire, and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain, as sounding brass and hopeless gain." My hope for all of us is that we take the love we have for whatever is sweetest, whatever is most amazing in our lives, and use it to drive your efforts, our efforts, to heal the hurt in the world around us, to identify and call out injustice wherever we encounter it, to work toward a society and institutions that are founded in equal rights and protections for all, to demand changes that will restore and preserve our natural environment, so that everyone can have the opportunity to dwell in that feeling of love, that feeling of wonder, that feeling of amazement that makes life worth living. So now more than ever, we are counting on your pledge payments and donations to help sustain and strengthen this congregation that is so important to all of us, supporting our efforts to be a community of love, truth, justice, and service. Please click on the link and be sure to select the correct designation on the drop-down box when you donate. Thank you in advance. And as our offertory music today, we have James Bland, who is going to perform "What a Wonderful World." Take it away, James.
What a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends waving hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I see babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you.
Thank you, James. That was beautiful. And now I'm going to, if it's okay with Demetrius, he chose the closing words for today, but if it's okay with him, I'm going to go ahead and read them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is called 20 Ways Life is Amazing by Marcela Chamorro. In the aftermath of a very strenuous episode, I can now see that what I feared would happen did actually happen, and the world has not crumbled. My life has not been stripped out from under me, and I still have all that I find precious. I have felt anxiety, yes, but it was my own choice to create and suffer it. I have left that behind. I choose to let the negativity float away, along with all the thoughts of what could have been, because those are the ones that bring me down. In finding the balance between a harsh reality and a smiling heart, I made a list of what I find amazing about life, even when it hurts. Courage grows when we choose to open up to another person in a way that creates more connection. After rain stops falling, dewdrops sprinkle our gardens with incredible beauty. A gesture as simple as holding someone's hand slows our heart rate to a calm and peaceful state, as if by magic. While finding never-ending joy may be difficult, finding happiness is much easier through peace of mind and mindful choices. When we change our perception of happiness, it is obvious that it's ours for the taking. And now we will extinguish our chalice. And please join me in reading the words for extinguishing the chalice that can be found in the comments in the chat box or in the order of service. So here we go. May we be blessed by our connection to one another, and may we prove worthy of it. Thank you, Demetrius. After the service, we will turn on all webcams and microphones. Feel free to stay in Zoom and chat with your fellow MVUUC members and friends for our coffee hour. Please be patient, as turning on the cameras must be done one at a time, and it can take a few minutes to get to everyone. Also, as added incentive for sticking around for coffee hour today, we will have a special event at today's coffee hour, which is Aubrey's Smash Cake. So I'll tell you more about that after our closing song. And our closing song today will be Go With a Song in Your Heart. You can find the words as a comment in the Zoom chat box or in the order of service. And Demetrius will now lead us in singing our closing song. Demetrius, you're not muted. I mean, you're muted. Thanks, Demetrius. That is the end of our service today, but please stay for the virtual coffee hour that follows. Today we have a special event, which is another part of the dole ceremony that we learned about and witnessed today, the smash cake, which is pretty much what it sounds like. We're going to start coffee hour with Aubrey's smash cake. I'm going to bring the office laptop outside so that we can see it. And everyone is welcome to stick around to, watch the smash cake, talk with each other, and whatever else you would like to do. And Lisa is going to start unmuting people's microphones and cameras now. So if you'd like to stick around, please do so. If not, have a great day. Thank you, everyone.